Your defensive plan. This right here is the nuts and bolts of defending your retreat. All right, we're working under the assumption something bad has happened. EMP, total collapse of society. That is what we're working under. There is no 911. There's no help coming to you, and everybody in your subdivision is looking for you because you're a leader in your community. They're saying, Joe, what do I do? This is what you do. You got to establish security. It could be as simple as having a couple groups of guys, 2 guys walking this side of the road, 2 guys walking that side of the road, or setting up some guys at the end of the road if you live on a dead-end road. By you taking that first step and say, hey, we need to do some security. You might not go to the step of, hey, outwardly arming these guys, but if anybody coming into your subdivision sees there's 2 guys on your front road watching, that's going to make a big difference. Because what will happen if they see that you're watching your community, they're going to drive down the road and take on that community that no one's doing anything because they're all scared and they're sitting in their house. They're going to be the first victims. At least now we'll have time to prepare a proper defense. Next is LPOPs. All this stands for is listening post, observation post. All this is a lookout. Let's say we're trying to protect our subdivision of 10 houses. Our LPOPs are not going to be right at our perimeter of what we're trying to secure, our 10 houses. You're going to move that LPOP out. You can move it 100 yards, 200 yards, whatever your terrain says you can work with. And all they're doing is they're observing. If you have a road coming into your community, they're out far enough where they're watching that road. It's a position you can make, but basically it's just you want some concealment so they can see who's coming to give you an early warning. It's a lookout. That's all you want. Because if your community has a few extra minutes, that might make the difference of responding correctly to the threat. LPOPs. You listen during the night. If you have no night division or night aids to watch at night, it's called a listening post. All I can do at night is listen. I can hear the branches and I can hear them walking. If it's an OP, observation post, that's during the day. Next is patrols. You need to walk your community. You need to walk inside your community. When that 67-year-old lady that can't actively help you defend your community sees guys walking around, what happens? She says, it relieves some of the stress. If you relieve some of your stress in your community, it's going to be good for everyone. Patrols. You can patrol outside your community. A couple 100 yards out, if you're walking through the woods, you can see and go from there. I got 5 minutes. All right, let's throw it in overdrive. Key positions or key weapons. In the military, if we have a key location where bad guys are going to come, we put a medium or heavy machine gun. We don't have that, so we're going to put guys with guns there. Coordinate with your neighbors on each side of you. If they're actively not part of your retreat or your subdivision, but you have a street over, go talk to them. Hey, what are you guys doing to secure yourself? Work together. Go to the other side. What are you guys doing? Work together. It will make you stronger knowing you have streets on each side watching out. Ensure mutual support between your positions. If you're trying to guard your whole subdivision, make sure you're watching 360 and you can do something about it. Cover vehicle approaches, same way. If you have a high-speed avenue of approach, you have a street where someone a mile away can rapidly accelerate and be in the center of your subdivision in a minute, you need to do something to stop them. Cement blocks in the road, anything to slow them down. If you live in the city, take the manhole covers off. Somebody wants to speed down your road with a manhole cover off, they'll find out what happens. Prepare positions. If it's a serious situation, guess what? You might have to dig in. You might have to make a position where people can watch the threats and deal with the threats. And that's what it's called, a prepared position. I have to rapidly go. Check sectors of fire. You're in a perimeter, you're guarding your subdivision. To assure you have 360-degree security, you get out there and Joe's right here. Say, Joe, I want you to watch from the end of that telephone pole right there to the stop sign. Then the next guy in this next position, you go from the stop sign to the back of Farmer Joe's silo. And you just work around. By you personally doing that, you just assured yourself 360-degree security. And they know, I'm watching from this to this. If not, that guy might just watch from here to here and no one's watching this area or no one's watching this area. Another big thing that people do wrong, Position in depth and mutual support between positions. You don't want to throw everybody you have to defend your perimeter on the perimeter. It's like lining up on the defense in a football game and putting every player on defense on the line. What will happen? They'll run up the middle, they'll bust through the line, and guess what? There's clean sailing. There's no linebackers there, there's no safety there. Same thing if you're setting up a defense. Your positions might be staggered, so even if they take one position, guess what? They're not in the perimeter, they've just taken the front end of the perimeter. Remember that, very important. I wish I had more time to go into it, but I don't. Select and prepare alternative positions. Let's say we're trying to guard this side of the perimeter. I dig a position in here. I'm going to dig another position in and another position. I might not man it 24 hours a day, but hypothetically, that gang of guys come this way. I see them. I get on the radio and say, hey, we got 20 guys hostile coming this way. Extra guys can come and help you. Now, if your position is full that you dug, they can't help you. But if there's a position right there and a position right there, they'll be able to get into a position that's going to protect them from bullets. So you want alternate positions. You also want a day and a night position. As soon as it becomes dusk, I'm going to get out of my foxhole or whatever position is behind the wall, and I'm going to slowly move back to my night position. Because that sneaky guy knows where your day position is because he watched guard shift change, he watched you move around. So at night, he's thinking, I'm going to attack that position and get inside their perimeter. He'll come and attack that position. That's your day position. Your night position, 30, 40, 50 yards behind it. I can fire into my old position. He's not going to penetrate your perimeter because you're going to pull a fast one on him. Let's go with communication and emergency signals. Same thing. You have to be able to communicate if you want to defend whatever piece of property you're trying to defend. Emergency signals. The guys with boats with those air horns, get air horns. Somebody might have a big bell. Get a big bell, put it in a central location. Someone rings the bell like a crazy man, things are probably bad. Work out whatever you can. You might not have, because of an EMP, you might not have your radios. 3 shots of an air horn means something. Use your imagination. Next is, if you're trying to defend something, you need to make sure people know where extra supplies or extra ammunition is. It needs to be in one central location. You might not, if you're in a position defending your property, you might not be able to go back and get your ammo. But if you have your ammo in one spot, that 12-year-old kid can hustle back there and get what you need. Next is prisoners. I know what you're saying. We're not going to take prisoners. Let's say you caught 4 looters. This is very important. I caught 4 looters trying to break in to Miss Sally's house. You need a place to take these people. Reason is, you don't want to just grab them, cuff them, and say, hey, come with me. And you walk them right through your retreat or right through your subdivision. Because what did you just do? They just gathered intel on everything in your subdivision. You just might as well write them, give them your plan of defense. So do not bring them in to anything you don't want to see. If your gardens are doing good, don't walk them past the garden because they're going to say, oh my gosh, these people got food, they got generators. You don't have an option. What are you going to do with them? You're going to kick him out, and guess what? He'll be back in a week with 50 guys to take what you have. Same with casualty points. If someone gets hurt in your subdivision, you need to get together and say, if someone gets hurt, we have a designated point. Because you might have a nurse, a doctor, or an EMS in your subdivision. That way, someone 24 hours a day can be in one place. Military uses it all the time. Somebody gets hurt, we know exactly where to take an injured guy. Very important. Next. Reserve personnel. I'm trying to protect my subdivision I have 20 guys. You don't commit all 20 guys to your perimeter defense. The reason this is, someone attacks me or tries to harm my retreat or subdivision, if I have every guy committed on my retreat, if they attack me, I have nothing to throw at them to counter that attack. But if I had 4 or 5 guys in a central location and they attack me here, what can I do? These 4 or 5 guys, that's their job. They're waiting to do that. They immediately go over there and help defend that side of the property. If everyone's on the same circle and they attack you, what are you going to do? You're going to run over there and pull guys off this side of the perimeter and say, hey, come, we got a problem over here. By that time, it's too late. Your security is your responsibility. You're probably totally confused because usually this is something I could do in a day. Retreat security is at least 8 hours. A lot of you aren't interested in it, some of you are. I'm just trying to give you some information to start thinking. There is going to be no 911. Thank you.